Hello again! Today we are going to be looking at the present progressive verb tense. Now, in order to understand what exactly we're going to be doing, I'm going to break down some of these words for you. But you should already know most of them, if not all of them. Well, maybe one will be new. Anyway, tense. You should know that tense is time when we talk about verbs. Verbs. You should know that verbs are very important words in English, okay? Verbs are the words that tell us what a subject is doing or what a subject is being. Remember that the active verbs show what the subject is doing, and the being verbs, the most common of which is be, gives you more information about the subject, so it helps define the subject. Now, present you should know. Present is one of the three general tenses in English. We have the past, present, and future tenses, and you should already know all of the simple tenses. But we're not going to be talking about the simple tenses today. We're going to be talking about the present progressive. There are three progressive tenses. There's the past progressive, present progressive, and future progressive. Today we're talking about the present progressive. Now, a lot of students want to use the simple present like it's the present progressive or vice versa. There's just a lot of confusion here. Because when we think about the simple present, you think, well, I want to say what I'm doing right now. But that's not how the simple present works. Remember, the simple present tense gives general information about what people or things usually do. It talks about facts, so lions roar, and people eat, and children sleep. These are things that you have to do. You do it regularly. These are habits. This is not what you're doing right now. That is what we use the present progressive for, this verb tense. So the present progressive takes this idea of time, or the present, and it gives it a little bit of space. It stretches it out a little bit, because we can't really talk about now or the present as this instantaneous moment. Time is always moving, and we can't stop and freeze it and talk about now like it's this little thing, because now keeps stretching. I mean, I've been talking to you now for already 3 minutes. Who knows? What we do when we talk about the present progressive is we provide the space for what we are doing right now. So we do that using this formula or this construction. We have the be verb, always. When we use a progressive tense, you always have the be verb. Then we have the verb plus ing. And it's that simple, really. The be verb will always tell you what progressive tense you're doing. So in the present progressive tense, it's the be verb that's going to be in the present tense. This verb, the main verb, the verb that's showing you the action, is always going to be in this form. The infinitive form, the word that you would look up in the dictionary, with ing on the end. Okay? So this is really important. When you do any progressive tense, but especially the present progressive, you have to have the be verb there as part of the verb, and because it's the be verb, you always have to keep in mind subject-verb agreement. Let's look at some examples. This board is showing you these sentences. So our subject, this board, this flat surface, it's actually doing something. It is showing. The board is one, is the be verb, show is the action, ing, these sentences. Children are studying grammar. Maybe you're not all children. Maybe there's some adults or teenagers. Maybe nobody wants to be considered a child. You would rather be a student. I'm sorry. But children is a plural noun. Are is the plural present form of the be verb. Study is the active verb, and then ing gives us the progressive. Okay, so children are studying grammar. I am teaching English. I am are connected. Okay, whenever we have I as the subject, if you are talking about you or I am talking about me, then I am always goes together. I am teaching. Teach is the main verb. ing shows the progressive tense. And That's what I am doing. Let's review.
Present progressive verb tense. What is tense when we talk about verbs? Tense is time when we talk about verbs. What are verbs and the two types of verbs? Verbs are the words that tell us what a subject is doing or what a subject is being. What is the simple present tense used for? It is used to give general information about habits, facts, and opinions. What does the present progressive tense do? It takes the idea of time and stretches out the present moment. What is the formula or construction for the present progressive verb tense? Be plus verb plus ing. What does the be verb do in the progressive verb tense? The be verb will always tell you what progressive tense is being used. What verb form is used in the progressive verb tense? The main verb that is showing you the action will always be in the infinitive form. What do you always need to keep in mind when you use any progressive tense? You always need to keep in mind the subject-verb agreement.